Hey everybody, welcome to my suburban oasis. My name is Soleil and I garden in a zone 6A/5B. We are here in mid-Michigan and it is starting to warm up. We're past our frost-free date, so we have some beautiful flowers that we are going to use to brighten up our front porch. Let's take a look. So right here we have some Impatiens. These are by Beacon. And they are Impatiens Walleriana, and they are the violet shades. So I don't know if you could read the tag or not, so I'm reading it for you. But we've got 3 flats of them, and we're going to fill this pot here, as well as the pot above it, to the side, and then up above. And all together, those should provide a really nice, welcoming entryway. So let's get started, shall we? Well, each of these flats has lots of little containers within them, and there are 3 in each one. So I'm going to be pulling them out and setting them into this top tier, which I think we probably can get away with just 3 this year. I have refreshed all of the soil in these pots, so it has some nice fertilizer within it, so I'm not going to need to fertilize these at all, which is going to be fantastic. But if I do notice that they're not performing for me, I will come through and give them a liquid feed. And I do use Miracle Grow in my containers because I just find that it works really well for them. These are very root bound. I actually do not tease the roots out on these. Normally I do with some of the other plants that are perennials, but because these are annuals, they tend to grow rather rapidly, especially with the fertilizer in the soil already, or the potting mix. So I am never worried about how these are going to do. They just do great. Within a couple of weeks, they should fill out the whole pot pretty well. Sometimes after you plant, the soil will sink a little bit. If you have fresh potting soil, that's okay. You can come back in and refresh it. It's not a problem. Just putting a little layer on top as needed. I just don't like to overfill my containers because if I do, it becomes very difficult to water. All right, let's get the bottom one. All right, with this one, we're probably going to put about 6 in here. About 5 around the outside and 1 in the middle. And I think that should do a nice job in here. Now, if I wanted to make these more bushy, I would just cut them back. And you can do that with any of your annuals right away if you want to do that. It can help with filling out the container. But these have just been growing in these containers right up against things for so long that they are a little bit leggy. So again, I could do that. I'm not going to. I believe that they will fill out on their own. That's been my experience in the past. Okay, now that we have all of these potted up, let's get our window basket potted up. All right, let's see how many we're going to need for this project here. Just gonna set them on top for now. think that looks like pretty good spacing on there. I'm going to add one more to this far end over here. And that should do it. Let's get them planted in. Now, just to make sure I'm getting spacing, I'm going to go at both ends first. I'll do one in the center. Hopefully I have one that's in the center. Nope, I don't, so I guess we're just going to have to go with it. Should be fine. After a couple of weeks, as these fill in, you won't even be able to tell which one is which. Now, I do have to spray these. The deer do like to eat these, so if they come in close to the house, then I do need to make sure that these are sprayed so that they don't chow down on them, because they really do like them. All right, we have another planter that I want to fill up since we have plenty, so let's do that one too. Well, I'm actually going to do some planting right around this front entryway here. In the ground instead of in the pot, because it definitely helps to just kind of tie in this area with the front of the house. So let's do that. The soil is nice and damp right now, and these are nice and moist because I watered them, so I'm not going to water them in right away. So I also have this really big, nice planter right here. I had some perennials in here that I was hoping would work, but they did not. They, I think, got a little too moist during the winter. But this is in a real good shade. This is a very dark area by my front porch. And so I find that some of the ferns do well, and these impatiens do great. It's one of the only flowers that I have found that really thrives in this area. So even though the bunnies and the deer like them, I'm still able to utilize them and have a nice, cheery front porch area. It's just always nice to have some flowers when you're having people walk up to your house so they can have something cheery to look at. I have noticed that the prices at our garden center locally have gone up significantly. Wondering, what is your experience, guys? Have you been to the garden centers yet? And if so, what are the prices like for you? Our flats were $21.99, I believe. Okay, hopefully that will fill in really nicely. This one I may do a little bit of liquid feed because this does not have brand new soil, but I might also just give it a top dressing with that soil as well, so it gets a little bit of fertilizer from the top dressing also. Okay, the last pot we're going to put these in is right here. And again, just having these throughout the walkway here is going to help to make things a little more beautiful. I think I need to put a little extra soil in this one, so let me grab some of that. All right, that looks good. Try to fit 4 of them in here. Well, hopefully we'll be able to find some other plants to go alongside of these and help brighten up this area with maybe some ferns or something like that. I know last year I had a number of different ferns. Only one of them ended up coming back, and I believe that's the sensitive fern or the lady fern. I'm not sure which one. I think it's the sensitive fern. Unfortunately, the tag did not stay in the pot. I can't find it. But I know what it looks like, and I would be able to find it if needed again, so I may look for some of those at the garden center. But let's step back and take a look at what things look like now. I think it looks a lot cheerier myself. Okay, well, we have finished up. You can tell it is a very dark corner or area of the garden, but it's definitely one that is worth planting up because this is where people come up to our door. So I did get a little bit carried away and decided that since I had some left over, I would just go for more of a monochromatic look, and really just planted the impatiens in just about every pot. I did save some for a couple of ferns, hoping to find some more of those sensitive ferns that did actually overwinter as perennials for me. And I think that that will make this area just look really nice. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. Again, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next one.